Today we are going to fire up the two powerful, interconnected engines that really drive modern business. On one hand, you have the complex web of supply chains, and on the other, the incredible power of people. And what's really fascinating here is that while the tech is brand new, the core ideas, they're actually ancient. So let's dive in.
Okay, just think about this for a second. How on earth does a complicated car part made in some factory in Pune get all the way to a shiny showroom in Mumbai, not in a week, but in just 36 hours? I mean, that's incredible speed. It's not magic, I can tell you that.
The secret is two massive engines, both humming along in perfect sync. You've got the physical engine, the one that moves things around, and then you have the human engine, the one driven by skill and teamwork. If you get one of them wrong, the whole system just grinds to a halt.
So these two engines, they're really the two core pillars of any successful business today: supply chain management and human resource management. And the key thing to remember is they're not just separate departments. Nope, they are deeply intertwined systems that work together to create real value. So what exactly do we mean when we say supply chain? Well, it's everything. I mean, it's the farmer growing the cotton, it's the mill that spins the yarn, the factory that stitches the shirt, the truck driver who moves it, and the store that finally sells it to you. It's the entire journey from the very beginning to the very end. You know, this slide clears up something people get mixed up all the time. Logistics, that's the tactical stuff. It's the how. It's the trucks, the warehouses, the actual movement. But the supply chain? That's strategic. It's the big picture, the why and the what. It's the master plan that orchestrates that whole journey. One's a tactic, the other's a strategy. All right, so let's dig into that first pillar, the flow of things. This is that incredible, complex dance of getting physical stuff from point A to point B as smoothly and efficiently as possible. And in India, this journey has been absolutely transformative. I mean, think about it. From the slow, constrained days before 1991 to the boom that came after liberalization. But the real game changer, that was the GST in 2017. It basically created one single market across the country. And now, you have these massive initiatives like PM Gati Shakti, which are building a truly world-class system for the future.
And guess what? We're already seeing the results. Just look at the World Bank's Logistics Performance Index. India leaps 6 places in just 5 years, going from rank 44 all the way up to 38. Now that might not sound like a lot, but in terms of global competitiveness, that's a huge deal.
But the story doesn't end there. Not at all. The big, ambitious goal is to crack the top 25 by 2030. The aim is to put India's supply chain muscle right up there with the best in the world.
So, how do you even manage something this complex? Well, a lot of pros use a framework called the SCOR model, and it breaks it down into 6 really logical steps. First, you plan for what you'll need. Then you source your materials, you make the product, and you deliver it. You also have to plan for returns, because that happens. And finally, you enable the whole system with the right data and tech. See? Simple steps for a complex process.
Okay, but here's the thing. You can have the fanciest trucks, the smartest warehouses in the world, but without the right people, they're just empty buildings and idle machines. And that brings us to our second absolutely crucial pillar, the power of people.
Let's just start with a number that should make every single manager sit up and pay attention. When you lose an employee, the hidden cost to replace them isn't just a small bump. It's estimated to be 1.5 to 2 times their entire yearly salary. Think about that. That is a massive, often invisible, hole in a company's budget. And that is why human resource management, or HRM, has become so much more than just handling paperwork and payroll. Today, it's all about the strategic approach to managing your most valuable asset, the people who actually innovate, operate, and drive the company forward. So, the bottom line is, investing in your people pays off in a big way. It's not just about dodging that huge cost when someone leaves. Get this. Engaged employees are a whopping 21% more productive. Plus, good HRM keeps everything legally sound and helps build a pipeline of talent for years to come. It's a no-brainer, really. All right, now this is where things get really interesting. These two pillars, supply chains and people, they don't operate in their own little bubbles. They meet. They intersect everywhere, on the factory floor, in the warehouse, in the driver's seat. And that intersection point, that's where value is either created or completely destroyed. This table just shows that intersection perfectly. A great supervisor today needs both sides of the coin. Of course, they need the technical skills,
They need to know the process, be savvy with technology, but just as important, if not more, are the human skills, great communication, emotional intelligence, and knowing how to build a real team. You need both, because if the human skills break down, you can bet the technical process will follow right behind.
So what's the glue that holds these two pillars together in today's world? It's technology. It's the nervous system that connects everything and everyone. When you have integrated tech, you get incredible visibility into your operations, you make your whole supply chain way more resilient to shocks, and of course, you bring down costs. Now you're probably thinking all of this sounds very 21st century, very modern. But like I hinted at the beginning, the actual blueprint for tying logistics and people management together is, you won't believe it, ancient. Let's go way back. Over 2,000 years ago, the ancient Indian text on how to run a state, the Arthashastra, laid out a concept called Panyapatha. This was a super detailed system for managing trade routes and making sure goods flowed smoothly.
So what's the modern version of that ancient blueprint? It's literally today's National Logistics Policy and the PM Gati Shakti Master Plan. A massive, strategic effort to streamline the flow of goods across the nation. The core idea? It's absolutely timeless.
And it didn't stop there. The Arthashastra also talked about a Mahya selection. This was a whole system for picking administrators based purely on merit, then training them and holding them to really high ethical standards.
And what does that sound like to you? It's the foundation of modern, strategic human resource management. The basic principles, find the right people, develop their skills, and build a strong culture, have been the keys to success for thousands of years. So let's end with this question. In a world that's getting more and more automated, with AI taking over routine tasks, does that just make the humans who orchestrate it all even more important? Is it possible that the leaders who can master both the flow of things and the motivation of people are becoming the most valuable asset of all? Definitely something to think about.